Hello and welcome to Vedic Vidada. So we were just continuing our new series, and today we are going to talk about moon. In the last two videos, we talked about moon being in the first house in all the zodiacs. Okay, zodiac-wise and house-wise moon. Okay. Now we'll talk about moon in the second house with all the zodiacs. See, when we go into depths, I will also make videos on moon through all the houses, and then again on moon through all the zodiacs. Okay, but this specific playlist is all about keeping moon as our center point, watching the three main aspects of moon, that is 4th, 7th and 8th, that is the green light, the yellow light and red light of the traffic, and understanding all the zodiacs in which moon would be placed in, with the house being number 2. So don't expect every much of detail in this video, because we are also going to make different videos on moon through all zodiacs and moon through all houses. In this, it is more over specifying that moon is placed in the second house, and second house is changing its zodiac. Okay. So let's say you are a Pisces born and your second house is Aries. So as I discussed in the previous video, when moon sits in the house with the lordship of a fiery or masculine planet, it reduces its compatibility to give things. Okay, it's like a drag race. Okay, you are dragging behind. Your moon is dragging behind. Your mental capabilities are dragging behind. Say you fit an engine of Maruti 800 into Fortuner. What happens? What happens? The car would start, but it will still drag. The engine would not be capable enough to withstand the load and give its optimal performance. Yet it would work very slowly. Okay, so this is when moon is placed in either a fiery sign or a masculine sign. Okay, that's why the most fiery masculine sign of Scorpio, with Mars as the Lord and the Scorpio Mars as the Lord, which means that rageful anger and the warlike Mars placed having moon in it is its debilitated position. Why? Because it is the most masculine and fiery planet, Mars, in its most rageful sign of Scorpio. Now if moon, being a very sweet and calculative planet, which is having its feminine nature, sits into it, is always going to have clashes. Getting my point? That is why it is debilitated in Scorpio. Okay. So let's talk about moon in the second house in Aries. Okay, so first of all, Aries Mars is better than the Scorpio Mars, because the Aries Mars is not that rageful, angry Mars. It is that Mars which has that energy and warmth, and utilizes it into a good manner. Okay, let's say Aries Mars is somewhat which gives you courage, that gives you willpower, will to do something which people might not ordinarily do. Okay, so Aries Mars utilizes its hot energy into bringing good things out. Okay, whereas the Scorpio Mars is all about raging it out. Okay, it is burning, it is giving exhaustion. Okay, it's like going into the 10,000 rpm in the second gear. Okay, that is the Scorpio Mars. Okay, Aries Mars is all about handling a good horsepower. That's how the engine is going to give the best optimal performance. So let's say first of all, moon in the second house. Okay, so what is the fourth house from the second house? The fourth house from the second house is going to be your fifth house. Now fifth house is the house of your social life, your career. Okay, let's not say career, your respect, your social identity, your children. Okay, so always know, if moon is placed in the second house, your fifth house would be very good in terms of your mind. Socially you would be acceptable as a person with a good mind. Okay, or let's not say good mind, because again, if your moon is debilitated, it would be reverse. Okay, so let's consider that socially you would be famous for your mental abilities. If your moon is in a bad rashi, you would be famous or say defamed for your mental sickness, or let's not say sickness, your mental disturbances. Okay, so whenever moon is in the second house, your fifth house becomes active in terms of moon. Okay, it is where moon is going to give you all the good results. Okay, until and unless moon is itself debilitated. If moon is debilitated, it is going to give you bad results. Okay, moon is itself debilitated, so why it would give good result in the fourth house? It will give bad result from the fourth house itself, because it is already in the bad placement. It is not giving good result. Whereas a debilitated moon may give you good result in the 8th house to itself. Why? Because it's always bad. Okay, now a bad moon has to go through transformation in the 8th house. So what happens in the 8th house? It is transformed. When a bad thing is transformed, it is transformed to a good thing. So it is possible that if your moon is not good and debilitated, rather than giving good result in the 4th house from itself, it is going to give better results in the 8th house, and in the 4th house to itself, it is going to give you some bad result, some bad influences. Okay. So let's talk about the second house. Okay, second house is all about how your energy is, how you utilize your energy, and your finances. It is the Lakshmi house. We call the Lord Dhanesh, because it is what helps you in saving money. Okay, so let's say if moon is not debilitated in the second house, wearing a moon with moon in second house, you will have good savings from your income. Okay, say if somebody is very spendthrift and moon is in second house and not in Scorpio, okay, then wearing a moon might reduce your spending nature and you will increase your savings. Okay, now Aries moon with Lord Mars over here is going to be certainly a bit of impulsive and impatience. Okay, let's use the word impatience rather than impulsive, but he would be more of impatient in nature and would want all the things to be very quick in his life. Okay, so what happens is there is a lack of patience. Now that lack of patience will create somewhat indecisiveness in spontaneous actions. Whenever the person has to decide spontaneously, it would make him a bit of indecisive. Okay, so if moon is in Aries, one weakness of that person is that he or she cannot make all the spontaneous decisions. They have to wait, they search for the right thing, they plan and organize things very a bit. Okay, so planning takes a while. So whenever they want to take spontaneous reactions from the mind or decisions from the mind, they would have certainly they would have some difficulties. Okay, now fourth house from the second house, the fifth house is going to be Cancer. So over here, your mother would be famous in the society. It is also possible that the first child you get would be your daughter, and it is also possible that you yourself would want a daughter as your child. Okay, your children might get a lot of emotional support from the society. They might be having a good emotional circle around them, with whom they can clearly chat, clearly they can open their heart out. Okay, so another thing is, again, see, moon is giving good result over here right now. Okay, so what happens is, your children would be a great source of mental peace for you, because what moon needs is peace. After peace it needs clarity, but first of all it needs peace. Okay, so the fourth house from moon will always give you peace, even though it is in the debilitated place. It is always give you peace. If it is debilitated, it would give you peace, but it won't give you clarity. Okay, but peace is for sure. Okay, so your children would be your mental peace first of all. Okay, next thing we can say is, being Cancer over here in the fourth house, you might be good at calculations, you might be good in psychology, you might be good in say Jupiterian arts also, like teaching. You might be good at maths, you might be good at learning sections, teaching sections. You might have a good degree if you work on it. Okay, if you empower your moon, you might have a very good degree in life. Maybe at least a master degree if you have, you would have, if you empower your moon and moon is not in debilitation. But we again have to see Jupiter. If Jupiter is in retrograde, that's going to be a difficult path. If Jupiter is in debilitation or say in the Maran Karaksthan, it is also going to be a difficult or a nearly impossible task. Otherwise, it would be a easy task. Okay. So now talking about the seventh house from the second house is going to be the eighth house. So eighth house is the seventh house from the second house. Now this is something which your mind is opposing. Okay, the mind is opposing the eighth house. Now eighth house is again transformation. Okay, so understand, all the people who have moon in second house have a very big trouble in adjusting to things where they don't belong. Okay, they will always like to belong into their comfort zone. Okay, whenever their comfort zone is taken from there, life becomes too much of difficult and troublesome for them. Okay, so this comfort zone is very well necessary. In this the seventh house is Scorpio, so their discomfort zone is always going to be something where they have to take a stand. Okay, because Scorpions are very good at taking the stand. Okay, they are going to tell in the face of anyone how to if they don't like something. Okay, they will be pretty logical about explaining people about what they don't want. Okay, they will be pretty sure. They always know what they don't want. Okay, so if it is the seventh house from moon, if Scorpio is the seventh house from moon, okay, your mind is having trouble in saying no to people, taking a stand for yourself, publicly standing out. Okay, publicly accepting things which you like and which the public does not like. Okay, so whenever you have to take a different stand in public, or even when you do something which creates trouble in your regular perception. Okay, whenever you have to redirect your perception of mind, you have to change your perception of mind, that is going to be very tough for you. Okay, especially Scorpio, there it is going to be very not even tough, it is going to be a very big challenge, because Scorpio is all about challenges. Okay, it is going to challenge you. Okay, Virgo is about competition, but Scorpio is about challenges. Okay, now these two things look pretty same, but they are very much different. Challenges are always tough. Competitions might not always be tough. Competitions can be won, can be defeated, and challenges should always have to be won. Okay, if you lose a challenge, it is something a black spot on your dignity. Whereas if you lose a competition, you always have second chances. Okay, so over here, it is quite necessary that you challenge your mind. Okay, so Moon in Aries in the second house, all you need to do is to challenge your mind about things. Okay, whenever you cannot do something, challenge your mind and work on that challenge and win that challenge. Okay, whenever you want to do or pursue something which is tough for you, make it a challenge for you. Okay, see you challenge yourself and see how your motivation comes out. Okay, so it is necessary for you to motivate yourself as a challenge. Okay, so motivation would come first of all from inside. Nobody else can motivate you until and unless they are challenging you. Even if they are challenging you, your mind is going to first oppose. So what you have to do is you have to challenge yourself, which requires self-criticism and self-motivation together. You self-criticize yourself and then self-motivate yourself. Getting my point? Now the 8th house would be the house which is going to be very difficult for you. Over here, if Moon is in the second house, it is going to be the 9th house. Now 9th house is the house of Dharma. Okay, so the house of Dharma opposing the mind, which might make you an atheist first of all. Okay, so it might make you atheist and your moral code of conduct may be very down. Okay, so if you see your ethics and morals, do not follow easy societal measures. Okay, जैसे सब चलते हैं वैसे आप नहीं चलते. You don't walk like the society. The moral codes and conduct of the society, your mind is always questioning it. I'm not saying you are challenging it and you are not following it. Your mind is continuously questioning it. And whether you would follow or not, whether your questions would be answered or not, whether you would understand the codes or whether you would deny the code, is all depend upon what sign it is. Okay, in this case it is going to be number 9, that is Sagittarius. Okay, now Sagittarius Lord Jupiter is going to help you in understanding it, but after your Moon in the second house questions it. Okay, so Moon questions the core values, the societal code of conduct and measures. Okay, now Jupiter, if it is well placed, your questions would be answered in such a way that you would transform your life into emphasizing and inculcating that morals and ethics into your life. If your Jupiter is not good, so what happens is, even though your mind would question it, the Jupiter is not going to give you fruitful answers. If it is in retrograde, you will get no answer. If it is in debilitation, you will get wrong answers, and somebody is going to misguide you to take you more away and away from the societal codes of conduct. Getting my point? The easiest example is, let's say if you are against the societal philosophy of marriage. Okay, you don't like the philosophy of marriage, the way the society is built up. Okay, so what happens? If Moon is in second house, you are going to question it. Okay, and if Jupiter is in retrograde, there is no answer to your questions. Okay, you will be around people who would not able to answer you and neglect you, and you have to find your own answer and build your own answer. If Jupiter is in direct motion or in a good place, what happens is, people will come, give you some good advice, show all the benefits of it, and tell and explain you how to inculcate this marriage phenomena into your life. And if say your Jupiter is not good, it is in its debilitation position, or say in the Maran Karak Sthan, so what happens is wrong people are going to come to you and they are going to misguide you more about renouncing the marriage act in your life. Okay, so even though you asked questions about something you didn't understood about the society, morals and ethics, wrong people are coming into your life and taking you away from it. Rather than helping you to inculcate, they are taking you away from it. So again, it depends on the position of the ninth house lord. And if it is Jupiter, specifically Jupiter, if it is not Jupiter, then conjointly the decision would be made from the ninth house lord and the Jupiter. Okay. So this was moon in second house for Aries. Talking about moon in second house for Taurus. See, Taurus is a feminine sign and Libra is the lord. So over here moon is very comfortable. Whenever moon is in Taurus, it is in the sweet nature. Okay, so your mind is calm and sweet and composed. Okay, there are no absurd thoughts. There are no, let's say, there are no thoughts that would make your mind go running. Okay, you would be very calm in nature. And when it is in the second house, it is going to show you that you take a very soft and small steps in gathering your income. You might have some small savings in life. You might also do some work, side income work, where you get a bit of money in bits and pieces. Okay, like from the major income you might also do some side income where it is giving you some short money making techniques. Okay, and your brain is working very good in understanding emotions. Sorry. So your brain is understanding very good while accepting emotions and understanding the emotions of other people. So you might be emotionally intellectual, especially in case of other people. And also your inner self. You would be very sure about your emotions, what you are feeling, what you are not feeling. Okay, and how to manage those emotions. Because second house is also about management skills. Okay, so you are good at the emotional management skills. The fourth house from the second house, that is your fifth house, will become Leo. Over here, Leo being the fifth house is going to give you a lot of affection to your father, a lot of affection from the father. Your father would be a very reputed person in the society, and through your father you might have some knowledge about yourself, your mind. You might also have knowledge about your father might guide you in many technical ways. He might also be your guru in a manner. Okay, so it is possible that your father might also help you in teaching skills. Your father would always teach you how to sustain in the society. Okay, the practicality of life, that is what your father teaches you, maybe directly or indirectly. Okay, and you in turn teach your father your thinking skills. Okay, so you help your father in explaining him all the thoughts that go and run in your mind. Now talking about the seventh house from the second house is going to be